resumes, the untapped superpower in your career arsenal. Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about something that might seem mundane at first glance, but trust me, it's anything but. We're diving into the world of resumes, those often overlooked, frequently dreaded documents that can make or break your career dreams. But before we jump in, I want to introduce you to someone truly extraordinary. I recently had the incredible privilege of interviewing Nannette McClendon, the visionary founder of Nana's Resumes and Notary LLC. Now, you might be thinking, a resume writing company, how exciting can that be? Let me tell you, Nannette isn't just writing resumes, she's changing lives, one carefully crafted document at a time. Imagine this. Over 300 people walking into their dream jobs, starting exciting new careers, all because Nannette helped them unlock the power hidden in their professional stories. That's not just a business, that's a mission. Nannette isn't just a resume writer. She's a dream enabler, a career catalyst, a beacon of hope for those lost in the labyrinth of job hunting. Her enthusiasm is infectious, her passion palpable. When she talks about helping clients craft their resumes, her voice rises with excitement. You can practically feel the electricity in the air. It's like watching a master artist at work, except instead of canvas and paint, she's using words and experiences to create masterpieces that open doors and change lives. But here's the kicker. Nannette isn't just helping individuals. She's making the world a better place, one resume at a time. Think about it. When people land jobs they love, when they're able to pursue their passions and use their talents, they're happier. And happy, fulfilled people contribute more to their communities, their families, and society as a whole. It's a ripple effect of positivity, all starting with a well crafted resume. So, buckle up, folks. We're about to embark on a journey that might just change the way you think about your career, your potential, and yes, even that dusty old resume sitting in the depths of your computer files. Now, let's start with a question that might make you squirm a little. When was the last time you really looked at your resume? I mean, really looked at it. Not just a quick glance, but a deep, honest examination of how you're presenting yourself to potential employers. If you're like most people, the answer might be not recently enough, or even I can't remember. Don't worry, I'm not here to judge. In fact, I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. Most of us treat our resumes like that awkward family photo from the 90s. We know it exists, but we'd rather not look at it too closely. But here's the thing. Your resume isn't just a list of your past jobs and education. It's your personal marketing tool, your ticket to new opportunities, and in many cases, the first impression you'll make on a potential employer. Let me share a little secret with you. Your resume is a superpower. Yes, you heard that right, a superpower. But like any superhero origin story, it takes a bit of work to unlock that power. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Let's start with the first key to unlocking your resume superpower, tailoring. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tailoring, like a suit? Well, kind of, but instead of fabric, we're working with your experiences and skills. Nannette shared a fascinating story with me about a client who was struggling to get interviews for medical billing coding positions despite having relevant experience. It's like they were shouting their qualifications into the void and no one was listening. The problem? Their resume wasn't tailored to the specific job postings. It lacked key keywords like coding, claim submission, and compliance. Now, you might be thinking keywords, that sounds like some sort of secret code, and in a way, it is. In today's digital age, many companies use applicant tracking systems, ATS, to sift through the mountains of resumes they receive. These systems are like picky eaters. If they don't see the exact ingredients they're looking for, they'll pass your resume right by, no matter how delicious your experience might be. So, what did Nannette and her team do? They didn't just update the resume, they transformed it. They carefully wove in these keywords, emphasizing the client's relevant skills and experiences. It was like they were teaching the resume to speak the language of the job posting. The result, the client started receiving more interview invitations and eventually landed a job in their desired field. It's like they went from being invisible to being the star of the show, all because their resume was finally speaking the right language. But here's the kicker. This client had extensive experience in medical billing. They weren't lacking in qualifications, they were lacking in presentation. It's like they had been walking around with a superhero costume under their clothes, but nobody could see it. This approach doesn't just help individual clients, it underscores a crucial principle in modern job hunting. Your resume needs to be a living document, one that evolves and adapts to each opportunity you pursue. It's not about embellishing or exaggerating. It's about strategically presenting your genuine skills and experiences in a way that resonates with each specific job. Think of it like this. If you were trying to convince someone to go on a date with you, you wouldn't use the exact same pickup line on everyone, would you? If you would, we might need to have a different talk. You tailor your approach based on what you know about the person, what they're interested in, what might catch their attention. Your resume is no different. It's not about changing who you are, it's about highlighting the parts of you that are most relevant to each specific opportunity. Now, let's move on to the second key to unlocking your resume superpower: highlighting achievements. This is where many job seekers stumble. They fill their resumes with lists of job duties, essentially creating a job description rather than a personal marketing document. Nannette shared a story about an administrative assistant who was looking to advance in their career. Their resume was full of tasks: managed schedules, answered phones, filed documents. Sound familiar? It's like describing a gourmet meal by listing the ingredients. Sure, it tells you what's in it, but it doesn't make your mouth water. So, Nannette and her team rewrote the resume to highlight specific achievements. Instead of managed vendor contracts, it said the resume now read, processed 100 vendor contracts and implemented a standardized process, reducing contract discrepancies by 90%. Can you feel the difference? This isn't just about what the client did, it's about the impact they had. It's like the difference between saying, I can cook, and I once made a meal so delicious, it brought tears to Gordon Ramsay's eyes. The result? The client started receiving more attention from hiring managers and was able to secure a higher level position. By focusing on achievements, they were able to demonstrate their value and potential to employers in a way that a list of duties never could. This shift from duties to achievements is more than just a writing technique. It's a mindset change. It forces you to think about your work in terms of results and impact. What problems did you solve? What improvements did you make? How did your work contribute to the success of your team or company? And here's a little secret. This approach doesn't just make your resume more impressive, it can boost your confidence too. When you start thinking about your work in terms of achievements, you begin to recognize your own value more clearly. You're not just someone who shows up and does tasks. You're a problem solver, an innovator, a valuable asset to any team. It's like discovering you've been a superhero all along, but you've been hiding your cape. Once you start showcasing your achievements, you're not just telling potential employers what you can do, you're showing them the impact you've already made. And trust me, that's a lot more compelling than a list of duties. Now, let's talk about the third key to unlocking your resume superpower: professional presentation. In today's digital age, it's easy to forget that your resume is a visual document. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Nannette shared a story about a recent graduate who was struggling to get interviews despite having relevant education and skills. The problem? Their resume was poorly formatted and used an inappropriate font, making it hard to read. It's like they had all the right ingredients for a delicious meal, but presented it on a dirty plate. Or imagine Superman trying to save the day in a wrinkled, ill-fitting costume. The content might be super, but the presentation, not so much. So, what did Nannette and her team do? They reformatted the resume using a professional font like Arial and ensured the layout was clear and concise. The result? The client started receiving more interview invitations. Their qualifications hadn't changed, but the way they were presenting them had. It's like they went from being Clark Kent to Superman just by changing their outfit. This might seem like a small thing, but think about it from a hiring manager's perspective. They might be looking at hundreds of resumes for a single position. If your resume is hard to read or visually unappealing, it's all too easy for them to move on to the next one, no matter how qualified you are. It's like trying to watch a blockbuster movie on a tiny scratch screen. The content might be great, but if the viewing experience is poor, you're likely to give up and watch something else. But professional presentation isn't just about fonts and formatting. It's about creating a document that's easy to scan and digest quickly. It's about using bullet points effectively, creating clear sections, and ensuring that your most impressive qualifications and achievements stand out. It's about making your resume a pleasure to read, not a chore. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I'm not a designer. I don't know how to make my resume look good. And that's okay. The good news is that there are plenty of resources out there to help you, from professional resume writers like Nannette to online templates and guides. You don't have to go it alone. It's like having a whole team of Alfred Pennyworths to help you design your batsuit. But here's the most important thing I learned from Nannette. Crafting an effective resume isn't just about following a set of rules or ticking off boxes. It's about telling your unique professional story in a way that resonates with potential employers. It's about presenting yourself not just as a collection of skills and experiences, but as a solution to the problems they're trying to solve. Think about it this way: every job opening represents a problem that a company needs to solve. Maybe they need someone to streamline their processes, or boost their sales, or improve their customer service. Your resume is your chance to say, hey, I'm the solution you've been looking for. It's not just about what you've done, it's about what you can do for them. And that brings me to perhaps the most inspiring part of my conversation with Nannette. She doesn't just see resume writing as a service, she sees it as a vision for others to excel. Her enthusiasm is contagious, her passion palpable. When she talks about helping clients craft their resumes, her voice rises with excitement. You can feel how much she cares about each person's success. This isn't just about getting a job, it's about opening doors to new opportunities, about helping people take the next step in their careers, about empowering individuals to present their best selves to the world. And isn't that what we all want? The chance to show the world what we're capable of, to make our mark, to build the careers and lives we dream of. So, what do I want you to do differently after hearing this? I want you to look at your resume with fresh eyes. Don't just update it, reimagine it. Tailor it to each job you apply for, highlighting your achievements and ensuring it's professionally presented. But more than that, I want you to think about your resume as a story, your story. What narrative are you telling about your professional journey? What value are you offering to potential employers? And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Whether you seek out professional help like Nannette Services or tap into online resources, there are tools and people out there ready to help you craft a resume that truly represents you and your potential. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Your resume is more than just a document. It's a key that can unlock new opportunities, a bridge to your future career, a canvas on which you paint your professional portrait. So treat it with the care and attention it deserves. Invest time in crafting it, refining it, making it the best representation of you that it can be. But here's the real challenge I want to leave you with. Don't just change your resume, change your mindset. Start seeing yourself as the superhero of your own career story, because that's what you are. You have unique skills, experiences, and perspectives that no one else has. You have achievements that you might be taking for granted, but that could be exactly what your dream employer is looking for. So I challenge you to dig deep. Think about the problems you solved, the innovations you brought to your work, the ways you made a difference, no matter how small they might seem. These are your superpowers, and your resume is your chance to showcase those powers to the world. Don't be afraid to brag a little and don't be modest about your achievements. This isn't the time for humility, it's the time to shine. Because if you don't tell your story, who will? And here's one last thought to leave you with. Every time you send out that carefully crafted resume, you're not just applying for a job, you're declaring to the world, this is who I am, this is what I'm capable of, this is the value I bring. You're putting yourself out there, and that takes courage, but it's worth it because you never know which resume might be the one that lands on top of the pile, the one that makes a hiring manager sit up and take notice, the one that opens the door to your next great opportunity. So, are you ready to unleash your resume superpower? Are you ready to tell your professional story in a way that truly resonates? The power is in your hands. Your next chapter is waiting to be written. What will it say? Remember, your resume is not just a record of your past, it's a roadmap to your future. It's your personal billboard, your professional battle cry. Make it count. Make it powerful. Make it you. Now go out there and show the world what you're made of. Your dream job is waiting, and trust me, with a superpowered resume in hand, you're ready to take on anything. The world is waiting for your unique talents. It's time to answer the call. Are you ready? The adventure of your career starts now.